Time to check out the latest bad empanada drama. I wonder what people are saying about known, I don't know what's it, known anti-Semite bad empanada on the internet. Let's check it out. Search for bad empanada, sort by newest. What is this? Bad empanada's disgusting behavior should get him excised from the online left. And the thumbnail. The worst leftist on YouTube. The case for deplatforming bad empanada. So first, I think we should address the title here. Bad empanada should be excised from the online left. I mean, okay, I'm not a part of any online left. You know, I don't collaborate with anyone. I'm not a part of any sort of clout networks. I don't need to use other people to get views. So I'm fine with that. I'm already excised from the online left and it's suiting me fucking perfectly. Great. No problem with that. Then we have the worst leftist on YouTube. Just for some context, this is someone who loves Vaush. Absolutely fucking adores Vaush. Makes videos defending Vaush. Vaush's lesbian joke wasn't misogynistic. She's also part of like, this really fucking weird, like, clique of people who just, like, do nothing but make videos defending every single thing that Vaush has ever done and said, and talking about how it's actually just totally fine and dandy. So if you want to get down to the bottom of why this video exists, it's because of that. This is another channel of, like, people from this clique who are also, like, trying to promote her epic destruction of me, and, like, they have like literally dozens of videos defending Vaush. Casualty of a failed witch hunt. Why did ContraPoints lie about Vaush? This video on Vaush is a dishonest mess. If the Cat Black / Vaush situation were reversed. A happy birthday to Poppy from Vaush. Oh man, if you know the context of like another Poppy, what Vaush did to like the other Poppy, aka sexual abuse, then that's a pretty fucking dark title. I didn't even like my neurons didn't fire to realize that one of them is literally named Poppy, and they make videos defending Vaush. If you don't know, Poppy is Vaush's sexual harassment victim. When she rejected him, he kept like harassing her, and he even threatened to rape her for like literally a year afterwards. And then after she called him out, he did everything to try and silence her. He said in his Discord chat that he wanted to scare her into shutting up. He mobilized his audience to try and harass her into silence, and it worked. It basically worked. And Vaush only apologized after he felt like he was backed into a corner and had to do it to save his reputation. And now these are people who like defend him religiously, trying to say that someone else is apparently the worst person on YouTube who should be deplatformed. Like literally, like it just goes on and on. Endless defense of Vaush. Like this is just people who are desperately trying to get invited onto Vaush's stream and gain some clout. That's all there really is to it. So that's the root of all of this. I don't like Vaush, thereby these people who are like really stuck in this sort of niche, that sort of really small, what is actually a really small niche, but to them it's like this all-consuming thing that they believe like is representative of some sort of broader reality, deciding that I'm the worst person in the world because I don't like Vaush, and desperately looking for some sort of post hoc justification for that. It really is that simple. So again, I'm not a part of an online left. My channel stands up completely on its own. It just had its best month ever. I'm doing fucking great. I'm doing fucking awesome. I don't need to be a part of your online left. I'm totally fine with that. I'm already not a part of it. If you want to excise me from it, that's fine. I think I sort of self-excised myself from it like 3 or 4 years ago, if I was ever actually a part of it. So that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. However, there's one thing that I think deserves some tit for tat here. The case for deplatforming bad empanada. Now, if you're going to advocate to like try to maliciously and obviously incorrectly report my channel, because obviously my channel doesn't have any terms of service breaking content on it, not this one nor the other one, then I think that tit for tat, I should say that you should be deplatformed as well. I use this channel to support multiple people in my life, people who would have lots of problems if I just somehow lost my job, because people like this are fucking huge pieces of shit, literally literal babies living in an alternate reality where quote tweeting them on Twitter is some sort of harassment. Quote tweeting them on Twitter when they're a public figure posting their political opinions there is some sort of harassment, and you should be deplatformed if you do it. That's the way they think. That's what this is all about. We'll get into that in a second. So I think it's fair to say that Sage Alexis should be deplatformed. Tit for tat, why not? You're going to say it for me, I'm going to say it for you too. Will that cause you some sort of emotional harm, some sort of financial harm? It would to me too. So I have no issue saying that for you as well. In general, I think that anyone aside from like Nazis, anti-vaxxers, you know, people like that probably shouldn't be deplatformed. You know, Xanderhall's gotten banned and shit before, and I've said that he didn't deserve it, even though I think his channel is fucking worthless. Because You're allowed to upload worthless content on YouTube. I'm allowed to think it's worthless, but it's not like a bad, it's not like a morally wrong thing to upload shitty content to YouTube that no one should watch. I would say the same about Sage Alexis, but since we're talking about deplatforming here, I'm happy to say that for her. I think Sage Alexis should be deplatformed. Anyway, so the background behind this, you can see just scrolling in, I don't know if you guys know how YouTube works, but you can see me like scrolling over the time bar, and you can see if there's actually any receipts being shown. So we have like start off like I think it's like an 8-minute long, just trying to garner sympathy for herself, saying like, this is my version of what happened without actually showing any receipts. So I'm going to give you my version of what happened. And the fact that I'm even talking about this is fucking crazy, by the way, because it's literally so normal. It's like a normal Twitter interaction. For her, it was her 9/11. So she made this video calling out the YouTuber Renegade Cut, who made a video, this one here, Renegade Cut is wrong and dishonest about the military. Renegade Cut made a video about saying that you shouldn't join the US military, which is obviously true. No one should join the US military. She made a video responding to that, saying, yes, actually, you should join the US military. It's fine and good. It's fine to just help to kill or actually kill the poorest people in the world as your day job. That's totally fine, according to her. That's obviously fucking crazy. Honestly, how do you even... That's self-evidently a ridiculous thing to make a video about to anyone who is even remotely a leftist. Now, if you're an American, it might not seem like that to you, but I have, a bit of a reality check here, not just about this, but in general. But the average person in the world, if you tell them that it's wrong to join the American military, they'll be like, yes, of course. They're not going to be like making excuses for it and talking about how much it could potentially benefit you. No fucking way. You Americans realize you're not the world, right? You're the world's oppressors. So your opinion on like these people who go and oppress and kill people on the other side of the world for your benefit is worth less than nothing, okay? It's really that simple. Your victims are the ones who matter, and they certainly do not think the way that you do about this. These people do not have lives. They do not have anything resembling a satisfying, healthy, normal life. And they're that way by choice as well, because they like thrust themselves into these very narrow cliques of like esoteric internet streamers and stuff, like Vaush, for example. How do you explain that to someone in real life? How do you explain your interest to someone in real life when your interests are fucking internet streaming about how Renegade Cut is wrong and dishonest about the military and like making 20 videos defending Vaush? You can't. So just a short reality check here before I continue on and explain more about the hilarious call out that this person is making against me. When I talk to people in real life about the shit that you say about me, they laugh. To them, it's fucking hilarious. What they're interested in isn't that. It's like, how do these people exist? How do these people who make this shit up about you exist? Like, what is going on in their lives? What the fuck is wrong with them? The shit that you post about me, I show it to my friends and they laugh. The other day we had a great fucking laugh about the bad empanada was imprisoned and stuff. I don't think you understand how you come off to normal people. I'm not the one who comes off as bad to normal people. You guys like huffing and puffing and like literally fucking screaming and like having a fucking sob because you got quote tweeted on Twitter because you posted something stupid politically and I responded to you or whatever. Like to normal people, that seems fucking insane. Okay? To normal people, the narrative that you try to craft about me is completely nonsensical. It doesn't work. It doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form. I'm doing fucking great. I'm doing fucking amazing right now. My life has been progressively getting better and better since I started my YouTube channel. Direct correlation between that. The shit that you guys say about me, the shit that you think like affects me, it doesn't affect me at all. If anything, it helps me because I get to just fill stream time talking about it. Your conception of reality is totally fucking balked because you're stuck in this internet niche where it's what seems like a horrible, like unforgivable slight to you comes off as absolutely insane to a normal person because you're not a normal person. You're completely fucked up. Like your perception of reality is just insanely skewed from being in a hug box of other morons. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that, but I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you, maybe someone there. Get a taste of fucking reality, please. Anyway, so what I was saying before I went on that little rant there was that, so she made this video responding to Renegade Cut, saying that he's wrong. And I want to reiterate, it's insane that I even have to like explain this because it was such a normal everyday interaction between like public figures. Saying that he's wrong because he thinks that it's wrong to join the US military and go and mass murder people in the name of imperialism. She responded, she's like, it's totally fine because you can benefit from that. If you got to go and kill some Afghans or some Iraqis and get the big cash money, that's totally fine. I'm American, right? She's American, that's fine. So I literally just posted like a screenshot of this video in the title, to Twitter saying like, something like Vaush fan makes video responding to Renegade Cut, defending joining the US military, something like that. Because it's self-evidently fucking ridiculous from the very concept of the video. It's not something that any sort of supposed leftist should be talking about, aside from American leftists, unfortunately, because they love to defend their imperialism. That was the extent of the interaction. And her reaction was to like start claiming that she's suicidal, and I was encouraging suicide by responding to a public figure who posted something on their YouTube channel publicly, responding to what they were saying in that video, nothing about them personally, aside from the fact that obviously their beliefs on this make them a piece of shit, which is true. And that was her retort was, oh my God, I'm a little small bean and I'm being harassed. Responding to you, someone who has voluntarily decided to be a public figure by making a YouTube channel, a Twitter, all of this shit with your branding and all that stuff, posting a political video, responding to another YouTuber at that who was making a political video themselves. You are opening yourself up to be responded to, obviously, about your political opinions. Said political opinions which do make you a piece of shit. So where's the harassment exactly? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, these people are just so fucking, I'm sorry, they're just so fragile. If you're this fragile, if someone responding to something that you said on the internet, like just responding to what you factually said, nothing to do with you personally, just what you factually said, is enough to cause you to spiral into like suicidal thoughts. You shouldn't be a public figure. I get shit worse than that. I get shit so much worse than that. Like every second fucking comment on my main channel is like a right-winger looking at my nose and saying, oh, yep, that's a Jew. You think that shit doesn't bother me? It fucking does. But I delete it and move on. You gotta have a thick skin for this shit. And if you're already failing at the first hurdle, like having someone post on Twitter about your video, you're just not cut out for this. I'm sorry. Mentally, you need to be very fucking strong to be a public figure of any sort, especially like a YouTuber where people have like parasocial relations with you, as you do with Vaush. It's not my responsibility to think before I tweet another public figure, did this person who posted an absolutely abhorrent video advocating for essentially signing up to do genocide, are they perhaps not feeling so great right now? No. It's not my fucking responsibility to take care of you like that. It's not my responsibility to look into the personal mental health history of every single person on the internet before I respond to them. It's no one's. Let me tell you what you should do if this is you. Don't show your fucking face. Stay anonymous. Disconnect yourself personally from your content, because what you're doing, it clearly doesn't work for you. Take some fucking advice from someone who knows this shit. Take some advice from someone who gets it a million times worse than you ever will. Anyway, so that was really the extent of the interaction. I responded to her political opinions. She claimed that me responding to her political opinions was harassment. Obviously, that's fucking absurd. And especially absurd because she makes videos responding to people all the time. She quote tweets people all the time. The very video that I was referencing is this one where she's responding to Renegade Cut. Did you check if Renegade Cut was suicidal before you posted this response video? Did you ask him if he's in the right mental space for you to respond to him? No, you fucking didn't. According to your own standards, what you did here is also harassment. Honestly, these people, like, they know that they cannot win on the actual issues. They know that. So you respond to them and they immediately fall back on identity, on supposed unverifiable mental health problems that they have, which are completely irrelevant to what's even being talked about, and which it's not the other person's responsibility to worry about either. It's ironic because these people come from like the Vaush sphere, and they complain about woke scolds all the time, like supposedly people who just like scold others based on identity rather than substance. But that's what they are. That's what this is. You post some shit online supporting the genocide of the poorest people in the third world, supporting people signing up and going to genocide people in Afghanistan, Iraq, or what have you. You post that, and your response to criticism when you get called out for that is to say, I'm a trans woman and I'm suicidal. Okay, that's not fucking relevant. None of that is fucking relevant to what you said. Being a trans woman doesn't give you like a get out of jail free pass to advocate for the fucking genocide of the third world. The fuck is wrong with you people? Honestly, single issue like trans rights people are the most callous, disgusting imperialists I have ever seen in my life. I'm sorry about first world like LGBT rights people with absolutely zero class solidarity, zero class consciousness, and especially zero understanding of imperialism are the most callous imperialists themselves. If they were not themselves of a marginalized identity category, they would be full-on chuds because all they care about is their own self-interest. And this is a great example of someone like that. Anyway, so let's look at the actual receipts. We're going to skip the sub-story and we're going to get to the part where she shows the actual evidence. I hope she actually clicks on these. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know who that is. LMS for TBH. Yo, dude, what the actual hell are you doing? Still giving time of day to quesadilla boy? Like, that is just like, you know, it's kind of racist to just like randomly interchange the names of like Spanish foods because you think that's funny or something. Of course, these people, you know, that's woke scolding though. That's woke scolding. The man literally sent a brigade on a trans woman yesterday for having criticisms of Renegade Cut's video on the military. She was suicidal and he mobbed her. Again, we already went over this. Sent a brigade, quote tweeting you, not even a quote tweet actually, it was just a screenshot. It was just screenshots of her video. You publicly posted a video responding to someone. Someone responded to your response, not even on YouTube, on Twitter, much smaller platform where it's going to get seen by much less people in much less detail. And it's like that in of itself is bad. Like responding to in of itself should be off limits, should be not permitted. You should be insulated from, as a public figure, from any response to the political opinions that you voluntarily choose to post. Responding to someone else in the first place, as a matter of fact, because you are trans and you claim to be suicidal. No one should respond. Just the very fact of responding to you is an offense. That's what this tweet says. They can't actually articulate any sort of real problem. The problem in the first place is simply that they're being refuted, that their beliefs are being refuted and they don't like that. It's fine when they do it to Renegade Cut. It's wrong when I do it to them. So this is the first receipt, 8 minutes and 42 seconds into the video. Let's see what she's got to say about it.
NetSpace mentioned in chat, Noah Samson has given credence to bad empanada. Not even 2 years ago, which is
who gives a shit? Who cares?
So let's.
Who gives a shit? Who cares? You're a Vaush fan. Vaush is a pedophile sexual harasser. Who gives a shit if Noah Samson likes my videos? So what? Who fucking cares? Noah Samson's just some fucking guy who makes YouTube videos as a job. He doesn't give a shit what you say about him, and good on him for it. You people don't fucking matter. The reason why you dislike him, it's not because he said some nice things about me once. It's because he doesn't like Vaush. Again, that's the root of all of this. Who gives a shit? You call others woke scolds when all that you do is try to find these like esoteric personal slights against people who don't like your favorite internet creator. And they're these things that no normal person is going to care about. Like Noah Samson 2 years ago said that Bad Empanada makes good videos. Do you think that's a normal problem to have? That's a normal issue to have with someone? I'd love to see you try to explain that to a normal person. Like starting from the very beginning. That would be fucking hilarious. Like, that's what I mean. These people are just stuck in these internet niches. They're completely insulated from anything resembling reality. The world they live in is not the same world that I live in. That's why they don't get what I'm saying here. That's why, like, she's going to claim that me doing this segment about her, responding to her in kind after she calls me out and calls me to be platformed, is harassment. That's going to be her response. She's going to say that I am harassing a trans woman who is suicidal. She might, she'll probably throw in something else there. She might even believe that. I don't think so, but she might, because that perception of reality is just so fucking skewed.
Read this. Noah Samson.
Let's read this.
Yo, dude, what the actual hell are you?
Already read that. Is she going to open the screenshots or just not?
Suicidal and mobbed her. We've got
Noah Samson follows bad empanada. Who gives a shit who you follow on Twitter? Is this what you've got?
Empanada was being followed by Samson. So this was my tweet where I said, cool, I'm actually going through
extreme emotional so she skipped over the supposed receipts. You notice that she didn't maximize the image of the actual supposed receipts.
Extreme emotional turmoil, but sure,
she does.
Now I get to learn that the empanadas.
You're going through extreme emotional turmoil? You posted a video on the internet, a political video at that, responding to someone else's political video. Did you ask Renegade Cut if he was going through emotional turmoil before you did that? Did you ask him if he's in the right mental space for your response to him? No? Then shut the fuck up and don't demand that from other people. I'm not going to look into your personal history before I respond to something that you put out there online as a public figure. I'm not going to look into what you're going through right now. You shouldn't do it for me either. I make that choice when I put something out there as a public figure to open myself up to criticism. You do it too. You cannot fall back on what is probably, by the way, a complete fucking joke. I don't believe any of this for a second. These people are just serial liars, and they will make up anything to get out of criticism. They will make up anything to avoid accountability for their absolutely fucking abhorrent pro-genocide views. So I don't believe this for a second, but even if it were true, it doesn't fucking change anything at all. Harden the fuck up. Seriously, harden the fuck up, or you're not cut out for this sort of work. The shit that I go through doing this, like if you got even like a tenth of it, like I don't know, I think you'd have a lot more issues than you would just getting fucking tweeted at by me once. Like, give me a fucking break.
Decided to make me his main character for the day. Also, Bad Empanada, get your facts straight. Vaush is my orbit. That is referencing that I believe Bad Empanada like posted that I was a Vaush.
You notice that she is not maximizing the pictures, because the extent of what I posted, like if you actually look at the words that I posted, she can't spin it as harassment. It's clearly criticism based on what she chose to put out there on her political YouTube channel. She can't spin it, so she can't actually maximize the supposed receipts. She just has to spin a narrative based on this top text of the tweet rather than the actual meat and bones of it, the sources.
Twitter on his Twitter account, and I was joking about that. I would like to say I actually don't remember making any of these posts. I was heavily dissociative that day. This is all news to me too.
Sure.
Yes. So here was my post where I said I'm just going to go now. This was my my post that day. But this was me misunderstanding the neurodivergent and a minor joke that Empanada was making because I'm not as terminally online as he is. And then this.
You are the most serially online person imaginable. The most serial online person imaginable. Like, give me a break. This is your life. You have nothing aside from this. Like, your life is like insular internet communities of like socially maladjusted people. I'm sorry. And yes, that is completely fucking apt to say to you. Sure, you may have made a video saying that it's totally okay to join the US military and help murder the world's poorest people, as you did. But you're also neurodivergent and a minor, so responding to you is wrong. Unlike signing up to murder people, which is what you advocate for. Yes, you do. Like, you tried to frame yourself as some sort of victim of like harassment because you're like you're trans, you're supposedly suicidal, you were in a bad mental state, you were disassociative or whatever. That's essentially the same thing as hey, you can't say that to me. I'm neurodivergent as a minor. And I'm neurodivergent and a minor. It's just throwing out like random identity categories in order to avoid actually having to deal with people just responding to what you were saying politically. It's sad. It's sad and pathetic.
Neurodivergent, and then my mother made a tweet on my behalf.
So wait, she's not actually going to go over the receipts that prove me being bad or whatever. She's just going to try to like form this narrative of like a sob story of her feeling bad as a result, and therefore I am bad. Is that really the substance of this? Is this all there is?
I was found.
Come on. Surely there's some receipts. Surely you have some proof of something that I said to you that was beyond just me calling you out for posting a pro-genocide video. Surely, right?
You should go support my sister at the serfs. This is for you too. You've plugged Bad Empanada before, and you should know what he gets up to. Trans women's life.
Like, they're just spinning a narrative. You notice that she's not looking at any of the actual receipts.
Lives are not forfeit when they disagree with a white Aussie expat that minorities who can't get out of poverty via the military aren't worthy.
Can't get out of poverty but via the military. I've already gone over this. If you want, I've destroyed all these arguments a million times. It's okay to go and mass murder the poorest people in the world if you yourself are relatively poor in American society. No, it's not. Very fucking simple. If your choice is to go and help mass murder or actually mass murder the world's poorest people for the US empire, or to be poor, or to go and flip burgers at McDonald's, or to do some other relatively shitty job, do that instead. Pretty fucking simple. If you're poor, don't kill your neighbor. If you're poor, don't go and kill Afghans either. Even though it might help you materially alleviate your problems, you still shouldn't do it. It's pretty fucking simple. It's a very basic standard that Americans cannot fucking reach. Like, for an American, going and like murdering an Afghan, to them, it's the same thing as flipping a fucking burger. They weigh it as on like the same level of job. It's honestly fucking depraved. And she's not going to get that when she responds to this. She's not going to understand that one bit, because she is a callous, imperialist first worlder who does not see the people who are murdered by these killers, these murderers, as fully human.
Say that believes minorities can't get out of poverty. Sage was getting tweets like this despite never defending U.S. war crimes, and these were just the abusive.
She literally posted videos about how it's totally fine to join the military if you're poor. Oh, it's actually okay to join the military. Renegade Cut is wrong and dishonest. Renegade Cut's video, by the way, if you want to know what she was taking exception to, it was literally called Don't Join the Military. That is what set her off. A video called Don't Join the Military. That is what she got pissed off about. She is everything that I said she was. That I just said she is as well.
Messages I found on this one tweet. I didn't check others. This is up, and if you defend and condone this, you're up. So let's read through some.
Something that I noticed too is this is apparently edited by someone. It's edited by Astro Princess. You're a 2K subscriber YouTuber. I'm sorry, but why? How do you have a video editor? What's going on here? Do you have like someone who edits your videos for you for free, like giving you free labor or some shit? I do everything myself. I don't understand this shit, man.
You defend something terrible out of malice, and you should feel bad about yourself.
Yes, you defended something terrible, aka joining the US military out of malice, and you should feel bad about yourself. Yes. Love how your emotional turmoil doesn't stop you from defending Americans who permanently ruin my countries next time they say the third world is worthless to me. This is someone who's literally a victim of American imperialism, calling you out for trying to hide your callous, disgusting, pro-genocide political opinions behind, oh, but I feel bad. Oh, but I'm disassociative. Oh, but I'm suffering from mental illness. Oh, but I'm trans. None of this is fucking like harassment or anything. This is totally normal things to say to you with the shit that you said. It's no different to like responding to Matt Walsh calling him a fucking transphobic piece of shit. Just for like the one analogy that you might understand, because that's the only marginalized group you fucking give a shit about. You advocating for people to join the Middle Easterner mass murderer machine is no fucking different from Matt Walsh advocating for the mass killing of trans people. That is a fucking fact. If you can't acknowledge that, if you cannot acknowledge that very simple fucking fact, it's because what you are at your core is little more than a self-interested liberal looking out for yourself and no one else. Let's go more of the supposed harassment tweets. Like she's just reading it like it's self-evident. You genuinely have to be living in another fucking world if this seems like self-evidently harassment to you.
Love how your emotional turmoil doesn't stop you from defending emeroids, terminally online.
What is with the censorship? Who permanently ruined my... I don't understand. What is that?
Permanently ruined my countries. Next time you just say the third world is worthless to me. You're gross, lol, imperialist devil defending the disgusting creatures poisoning Asia and Africa. I hope you...
Yes! You were fucking... You're defending people who mass murder people in the third world. I don't understand. Why do you think that you should be immune from criticism after doing that?
I'm going through extreme emotional turmoil, so I should be let off the hook as I spent hours defending the most genocidal, imperialist, violent force for enforcing global capitalist Western dominance.
Like, you're reading this like it's bad, but what you're reading is you in your own voice. You don't really realize it, but it's you outright saying. By reading this, you're outright saying what you did, and you're outright admitting to the way that you tried to deflect from it.
Millions of poor people in the third world. That's not what I did, but okay, go off. What did you say wrong, though? If you join the military, you're willingly participating in mass murder and genocide to some extent. In what ways is that incorrect at all? Well, you're just a pathetic imperialist like the rest. Who do you think you're kidding? These are all fans of Bad Empanada. This is just from Bad Empanada.
I'm totally fine with that. No problem. No fucking issue. You posted some shit on the internet. It got responded to. People responded to the shit that you put out there as a public figure. What did you expect exactly? That people wouldn't take exception to what you said? I mean, even if what you said was right, people are still completely well within their right to take exception to it, even to call you a piece of shit for thinking it if they want. Deal with it. But what you said wasn't right. It was wrong. It was heinous. It was disgusting. And these people are responding to you based on what you said. Nothing more, nothing less. Where is the slight here? Where's the issue? You have to be a completely socially maladjusted loser. I'm sorry, you just have to be a completely socially maladjusted loser. I'm trying to be nicer lately. I really am trying to be nicer, but these idiots just keep dragging me down to their level. And they need some very basic shit about just human interaction explained to them. If this for you is too much for you, you got to stop being a public figure. I'm sorry. You're just not cut out for it. You're just not cut out for it. I get so much worse on this. Like 1 hour of my YouTube video comments, 10 times worse than this, 10 times less justified than this as well.
Nothing, you're less than irrelevant. You'll be swept up in the early wave and no one will ever remember you. You'll have pleased no one and built nothing. Here's hoping your situation deteriorates to the point where you're unable to make excuses for genocidal imperialism. That's
the thing too. Like, why is it that you're going through like this mental health crisis, but you're still perfectly able to make excuses for people to join the US military? People like you're not just join, but encourage them to tell them about how good it would be for them as well.
Didn't say kill yourself, and I did get some that did say kill yourself, but that is telling me.
I get people telling me to kill myself every day. I get like fucking dozens of Vaush fans telling me to kill myself every day. That's another unfortunate thing that comes with the territory. Some people are shitheads. They're going to tell you that sort of thing. You can't let it get to you. If you let it get to you, then you're not cut out for this. Nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with you being a poor little victim of my harassment campaign because I tweeted about you once, literally once. It's just to do with you coming into this space where the unfortunate reality of it is that people say terrible shit to you sometimes. They say shit to me all the time. Like fucking yesterday I had like 5 fucking death threats. At this point I'm desensitized to them. It's just sort of what happens. It's not my fault though if someone says that shit to you. I'm responsible for myself, not responsible for these random people. Even though from what I can see, none of these people who you actually use as evidence here really said anything wrong. Not at all. Not a single one of them said anything even remotely objectionable. They were attacking you based on shit that you said about politics, based on your apparent political positions. As I said, no different to responding to Matt Walsh and calling him some names or a transphobe or whatever, because that's what he is. You're a genocide supporter too. That's what you are. Deal with it.
By the way, thing is, when the American military go through emotional turmoil, they kill us. So no, I don't care about your emotional turmoil.
This is so weird. Like she's reading tweets of people who are speaking in the first person. They kill us. This is someone who experienced like an American military invasion, and she just skips over it like she's the victim here? That victims do not even factor into the equation for them, man. I'm sorry, that's just depraved. How could you read this tweet and be like, this tweet is harassing me, this tweet is victimizing me, and be like, this is evidence of how I was harassed? This is someone pleading with you, begging you to please not justify their mass murder, the invasion and destruction of their countries with, well, it's better for me than it was to flip burgers. It's okay for me to participate in the mass killing of your family because otherwise I'd have to work at McDonald's. How do you see this person saying that to you and not realize that you're the bad guy? I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
That you couldn't hack at flipping burgers, so you signed up. They really think I'm a vet. I look like a vet. This was the...
No, it's not nothing to do with you being a vet or not. It's to do with your political opinions.
The quote. Also, fuck the US military. It's a horrific institution that has done and continues to do evil, but enlistment is an illusion of individual choice, and if you think mass non-enlistment can end the US military, you're a fool, as there's this little-known phenomenon called the draft.
There's no draft. There's no fucking draft right now. There's not going to be a draft either. So get that shit out of your head. Get that excuse out of your head. You're not a conscript. You chose to join. And that's basically saying like, there's no individual choice in joining. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's the same individual choice in joining the US military as there in, for example, as not robbing your neighbor, not killing your neighbor and stealing all of their belongings, not driving the getaway car for someone who's killing your neighbor and stealing all their belongings. It's the same individual choice. It's doing something terrible that objectively harms other human beings in terrible ways in order to get personal material gain. You might be poor. You might not be poor. It's no excuse still. If you think it is, I want you to put your money where your mouth is. Why don't you, put a sign up on your door or something saying, hey, poor people, open season here. But you don't believe that. You don't believe what you're saying here. You just want to justify it when the victims are brown, the poorest people in the world, when they're not white and they're from the Middle East. That's when it's okay for you. It's not okay when it's you. It's okay when it's them. It's not okay when it's someone who's not of your in-group doing the killing. It is okay when it's someone who is of your in-group, aka Americans, doing the killing. Callous, just a complete disregard for the humanity of most people in the world.
The U.S. war machine will either get meat bags via volunteers or it'll get them by the draft, and it's not in fact pro-imperialism to acknowledge that, and how individual soldiers who are disproportionately minorities.
That's not true. Individual soldiers are not disproportionately minorities fleeing poverty. The average American enlistee is of essentially average income. If anything, upper middle class. So it's just completely untrue again. Like, you might elect to join with no other options. Yeah, you have no other option. You always have other options. Having a limited spectrum of choice does not mean you don't have a choice. Your other option is do not sign up to go and mass murder people. Your other option is look for another job. Might be hard to find one. Anything's better than just signing up to mass fucking murder people. If your personal material advancement is more important to you than the lives of people in the third world who are infinitely poorer than you, to the extent that like you're totally willing and ready to help to kill them to get personal advancement, then you are a piece of shit. Some people might have like the argument from ignorance, like I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sad about it now. I regret it. I'm sorry, whatever. I mean, okay, fine. But that's not what she's doing here. They're not making that argument. She made a video outright saying that someone who made a video about, hey, I shouldn't join the military is wrong, and it's actually okay if you do. So she's advocating for new recruits. Disgusting. Article from The Economist, an outlet that the average Vaushite would generally like. For millennial soldiers, reared in an age of American swagger, the opposite is true. Their median family income is more than $73,000 a year, compared with $66,000 for civilians, and recruits are more likely to come from families in the middle of the wealth distribution, with median wealth of $87,000, almost $10,000 more than civilians. Blacks, overrepresented among the poor, and a disproportionately large veteran presence in the 1979 cohort, as Mr. Chomsky noted, have dwindled as a share of recruits. Separately, as the armed forces shrank in size and grew choosier, recruits tended to be cleverer than their civilian peers. Indeed, among the poorest recruits, that is the cleverest, not the dropouts or deadbeats, who are the likeliest to sign up. In short, soldiering has become a middle-income business. The widespread belief among academics, the American public, and lawmakers that those fighting America's wars come mostly from the poorest is probably a product of trends from the past. Conclude the authors of the study, who note their findings are robust across the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, and apply to officers and enlisted personnel alike. So this common excuse that they make, which by the way wouldn't be an excuse because being poor is not a justification to go and mass murder the world's poorest people for personal advancement, this excuse isn't even true. Let's continue. Let's see the rest of this amazing argument. I think it's just reading tweets. It really just seems to be reading tweets and the narrative that this account formed around what happened rather than actually looking at receipts for what happened. This is even worse than I thought it would be. I thought she would at least bring up receipts.
Getting into how many war crimes aren't done by enlisted U.S. military personnel, but by mercenaries. Individual vets aren't to blame for wars, and you should remember that many living U.S.
These people like draw a distinction between like a war crime, as in something that the U.S. military itself considers a crime, and a war crime. For example, voluntarily signing up to join the US military and then illegally invading another country in order to bring its oil reserves to the US, such as in Iraq. That itself should absolutely be considered a crime by anyone who remotely considers themselves a leftist. It doesn't have to be literally formally considered a war crime by the US military or the US justice system or the UN or whatever. If you don't consider it a fucking crime to willingly sign up to go and mass murder people on the other side of the world and then do so, I'm sorry, but your conception of what constitutes a crime is completely fucked up and just completely stuck in this sort of liberal, like legalistic framework. It's not how anyone who remotely conceives of themselves as a leftist should be thinking.
Vets were conscripted, including intellectually disabled Vietnam vets. Yes, Veronica, burger flippers is just repackaged conservative rhetoric. That's how you know people are.
It's not. How is it repackaged conservative rhetoric? If you have to flip burgers, which is something that people actually do at McDonald's, if you have to flip burgers or kill Afghans to make a living, you should flip burgers. Is this too much to ask of Americans? I'm sorry. Do you need to be coddled a bit more? Should we like let you kill a couple of Afghans as a treat? Is that what you need from us? Is that what you need from the rest of the fucking world to consider us human? I'm just fucking gobsmacked at the complete callousness here, man.
It's basic human knowledge that the wars were driven by the powerful who send the powerless off to kill and die with little we plebs can do about it. So I'm not telling an undocumented.
The Afghanistan war was supported by something around 70-80% of average Americans. The Iraq invasion was supported by more than 50% of Americans before 9/11. And again, signing up is a choice. You might have a limited spectrum of choice under capitalism, but you have a choice. I have a choice to rob my neighbor or not rob my neighbor. Somehow I managed to not do it every single day. No different to going to the Middle East and just deciding to loot and pillage and murder there. There is one that goes all the way back to like 1999, but I can't find it right now. I have it saved somewhere, but it's on an external hard drive that I don't have plugged in. Whatever. Point is, this idea that like the average American does not support the war and that it's just the powerful. The average American does support the war. It's not just the powerful. The average German supported the Nazis. They were guilty of doing so as well. There's really no difference. Doesn't really matter if you think the US isn't as bad as the Nazis or not. People are still, to some extent, responsible for their individual beliefs and actions. A limited spectrum of choice does not mean no choice. You do not have no free will. You are not a fucking automaton. You are not a robot. You are not an android. Just like some guy who joined the fucking SS and went to the East to murder Jews was responsible for his actions. Someone who joins the fucking US military and goes to the Middle East to murder the world's poorest people for their own personal benefit, they're responsible for their actions too.
Undocumented refugee, he's worthy of death for joining the US military so he doesn't get deported.
Undocumented refugee. They just come up with the weirdest fucking straw man to defend like this random like outlier that they think justifies it, where you have the right identity category that would make it okay.
Drop bad empanada or you're in no position to criticize
anyone. What does it mean to drop bad empanada? Do you guys not realize how this shit works? Like, you don't matter. These interpersonal creator shit doesn't matter. That's not what my channel's about. My channel is just about making quality video essays, and it works great. So like, drop bad empanada. I don't drop me. Like, don't watch my videos if you don't want to. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't rely on like these interpersonal creator reactions. I don't need collaborations. I don't need any of you. I don't need any of you, and I don't do any of that stuff. So that's totally fine. Do it. The people who watch my videos watch them because they like the videos. You guys don't realize that something like 5 to 10% of people actually even comment on YouTube videos. Like 20% of people who actually like them. Most people literally don't even engage with the videos in any way aside from watching them. Let alone go to Twitter and watch creator drama and shit. You don't matter. You conceive of yourself as being way more important. Yourself and your niche, this niche that you're in of pedophile, sexual harasser stans who are stuck within his like Clout network. You conceive of yourself as being way more relevant and important than you really are. I'm sorry, but you're not. Every single person in the Vaush sphere could drop me tomorrow and my views would go down by 0 because they already don't watch me. I don't care. It's fine. Anyway, let's see some of the other blistering arguments that this person has.
Else's fans. I'm sick of dead trans women, and that piece of shit is hell-bent on making more.
Okay, so apparently if you're like trans, you're allowed to be like the worst person in the world and everything else aside from that. And if someone responds to you because of that part, like everything aside from that, you should have like a free pass because you're trans? No, what's the argument here? Someone is trans, someone who does awful things, who says awful things is trans, you respond to them based on the awful things they say, you're the bad person for responding to them because they're trans. This is literally like woke skull. This is what they mean when they say woke skull, but they are the woke skulls.
He doesn't have any productive ideas to end imperialism. He just wants some dead US leftist trans women as revenge. With this tweet...
You're not a leftist. None of you are leftists, by the way.
Words Alana McLaughlin. The feeling when a prominent Twitch leftist streamer breadtuber tries to farm content by sending me messages encouraging suicide and suggests his followers do the same.
Okay, where's the messages encouraging suicide? I want her to show the actual messages because it wasn't encouraging suicide. You'll see it's very revealing when we get to the actual... By the way, Alana McLaughlin, while we're at this, Alana McLaughlin admitted to murdering Afghans. Alana McLaughlin straight up admitted that she, during her deployment to Afghanistan, doing violent genocidal imperialism on behalf of the US military. She straight up said that she killed Afghans. Here's a tweet by Alana McLaughlin, the supposed victim here, the supposed powerless victim who, as a trans woman, should be able to get off with anything. So Alana McLaughlin, in response to a debate about whether you should play a video game for children, said, I was deeply invested in the American war machine as an adult, so much so that I killed for it. And will spend the rest of my life trying to make amends. You'll find that's untrue in a second. She killed for it. She invaded Afghanistan and killed the world's poorest fucking people for American imperialism. And she admitted it. And they tried to make it about, like, just her being trans and nothing else. There's more to this. It's worse. So she said that she was atoning for what she did, right? She's going to spend the rest of her life atoning for what she did. Now, trying to make amends. Now, in my book, when you make amends for going to Afghanistan and murdering Afghans, you would make amends with Afghans, right? Apparently that's not what these people think. Apparently for them, making amends is like doing, I guess, being a trans MMA fighter and saying nice things on Twitter for other Americans, not actually like doing anything for your victims. So when Alana McLaughlin was quizzed on her admitted murders in Afghanistan, she tried to justify it. She said that the people who she killed were not comrades. So if they're not your comrades, they're fair game. If the world's poorest people are not your comrades, it's okay for you to join the US military and go and blast them. That's what Alana McLaughlin thinks. You don't tell me fucking anything about how this person is just some poor, innocent little trans woman. Nope. This person is a cold-blooded murderer who justifies their murder years later still, who has done absolutely nothing to restitute their victims, who doesn't plan to do anything to restitute their victims, who finds the notion of doing so ridiculous, and when confronted on it, justifies it. Let's see what else this dishonest sack of shit has to say.
Do you, I guess. I don't think that's particularly conducive to real revolutionary action, but what do I know? And then Bad Empanada says, you're damn right I did, fascist stormtrooper, submit yourself to the justice of your victims. Literally just doing it, by the way.
Just doing it? What does that mean?
And he's actually proud of these DMs.
What does that mean, just doing it?
Good.
What does submit yourself to the justice of your victims mean? If you take submit yourself to the justice of your victims as like a call to suicide, that shows how you know what the victims think about these people. That shows that you know that if these people were actually subject to the justice of their victims, you know what the outcome would be. You know how their victims think about them. You know how their victims conceive of the crimes that have been dealt to them by these supposedly poor little US veterans. You know precisely what they have done. You know precisely how bad it is, and you know what the punishment would be. So you conceive of the idea that they should face justice from their own fucking victims as a death threat in of itself. That is so fucking telling. That is absolutely, lit off the whole fucking thing right there. And I didn't tell her to kill herself at all. She did not go over the actual tweet. Let's see if we can read it. Let's see if it's legible. It says, murderer, disgusting killer, submit yourself for trial before the families you harmed. You're lying about making amends. You're a cowardly mass murderer for white supremacy. What's wrong with any of that? Explain. There's literally nothing wrong there. I wonder why she didn't read it. You don't get forgiveness for your crimes against Afghans, for your crimes against Afghanistan, from fucking other Americans. You get them from Afghans. So they see like this notion that you should submit yourself to the justice of their victims, aka the Afghans who she murdered, as like a massive slight. Like they have to attack it. They have to reframe it in some other way as a death threat. Because for her and other people like her, mass murdering Afghans to get ahead is fundamentally totally okay.
He's actually proud of these DMs.
Why wouldn't I be?
He thinks that this is good. I'm told Bad Empanada is on his thread, and that's very funny to me.
Do you have any
apparently
plans?
He was being big mad while I was literally...
Do you have any plans of explaining why it's bad? Is it just because it's... I think it's wrong to say anything bad to a trans woman, no matter what heinous shit they've done, and no matter how much they still try to justify it to this day. Is that the argument? Because it's not a very good argument. I'm not sure about that one.
taking a nap. Anyway, he's a freak, but he's also pathetic. Unlike him, I have real friends and I don't need to bully trans women online to
Every single one of these people does not have real friends. Absolutely not. These people are the biggest losers in the entire fucking world.
feel like a big boy. McStizzy ended up getting blocked by Noah Samson. We don't know if he still follows Bad Empanada.
Who fucking cares? Jesus Christ, go outside. Who fucking cares who follows who on Twitter? Go the fuck outside, man. Come on.
It is almost impossible to tell at this point because Bad Empanada keeps getting banned and then making new accounts. And oh, by the way, I did block Noah Samson, specifically because
that's fine. I doubt he cares. I doubt he even noticed.
I haven't blocked the serfs is I think the serfs, generally speaking, do much better work than their vague association with Bad Empanada. Serfs.
There's no association between me and the serfs, for one. And for two, the serfs videos fucking suck. They're horrible. Like, if there's anything, like, holy shit, man. The serfs is just like the least insightful news commentary / drama bullshit you could ever imagine. Like, just look at this shit, man. This is fucking mind-numbing. If this is your idea of what real leftist content is, I'm sorry, but you're just some fucking internet social media content consumer. You're not an actual political anything. You're not a political being at all. Look at this shit, man. Fucking Christ. That's what the serfs is.
But if the serfs continue to, advocate in Bad Empanada's favor, then I'm done with them too. I know the serfs.
This is how these people work, right? They do not have really any sort of critical thinking capacity, no capacity for actual like analysis, assessment. They base everything on like, I like Vaush. That's the starting point. Then it goes from these people like Vaush, these other people don't like Vaush. I like the ones who like Vaush. I dislike the ones who don't like Vaush. And then it goes to, this person who likes Vaush also might like this other person who doesn't like Vaush. Ergo, I'm going to put that person into the unperson side of the equation now. Oh, this person responded to my political take once on the internet. Now anyone who has ever like said anything about them ever, they're also going into that unperson category for me as well. That's how they operate. It's so fucking sad and pathetic. It's just so fucking pathetic. It's the Clout human centipede, except this one has no clout.
Tend to have this tendency, I guess, to associate with everyone. They associate with all circles of the online, which, to be honest, is really quite toxic and really allows for a lot of...
Oh, I wonder why it's toxic. Could it be because of the sexual harassing pedophile who you openly and proudly support and who you base all of your politics around?
Really bad people to just be defended, but we'll see. So the reason why I went through all of that is because I just wanted to show... That's all you have? Is that really all you... I'm sorry, is that really all you got? There was literally nothing there. You would have thought there would be some bombshell there. What's going on? What's the bombshell? Where's the receipts? You should be embarrassed. That's it? Example, which kind of did encompass some other things. He did this shit to Keffels too, by the way.
He did this shit to Keffels too? I mean, I have like 5 videos. Keffels, I didn't do shit to Keffels. Keffels called me out and I responded to Keffels with receipts, which are greatly documented, proving her to be wrong on fucking everything that she claimed. Watch any of the fucking videos. The receipts are in here. They just like make up shit out of thin air. That's how they operate. This is why you guys are such fucking losers and why you should be embarrassed to be the way you are. I want you to try to explain any of the shit that you're saying here to like a normal person. It won't go down well at all.
In fact, I actually had to take a step away from Twitter for like a day. I had to go on private. Oh wow,
oh my god, such a traumatizing experience. You went private on Twitter because people were tweeting at you. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that fucking happened to you. Do you have any sort of concept of reality? Are you a real I don't know. This is like an AI generated thing or something. I don't believe this is real.
Because in the midst of the Keffels stuff, I kind of got caught in the crossfire again. And it just started happening again. Over the same by the way, we're still talking about this stuff like a month later.
This is like you tweet about someone, that person responds to you because you tweeted about them. And then it's like, oh, I went private. I'm the victim. I was tweeting. Oh, I should just be able to say whatever I want. And no one should have any right to respond to the shit that I make up. No one should have any right to respond to the fucking disgusting pro-genocide arguments that I make. I'm just a fucking small bean. It's like that tweet. Like, I dated a 5'8" guy who'd torn every jacked 6'3" bro he met until they'd pull their fist back to beat him up. Whereupon my ex would go, hey, come on, I'm just a little guy. No, it's also my birthday. I'm a little birthday boy. That is what these people fundamentally do. The exact same mentality. They shit on someone or they post like some sort of political opinion. They get responded to in kind. And they fall back on this, hey, no, I'm just a small little guy. No, you can't say that to me. Come on, man. Who are you picking on such a small little guy? They're fucking babies. Literal children. Grow the fuck up, guys. Come on.
He does not stop. Bad Empanada is a bad person. Like, no bones
I'm a great fucking person. Everyone I know thinks so. I'm happy to say that.
about it. He is a human being. Any support of him?
You're a Vaush fan. You're a Vaush fan. You're a trans Vaush fan. You're a trans Vaush fan. You're a trans Vaush fan.
And here, and this was just in response to Thoughtsline blocking me. These people are subhuman, and I want them to kill themselves. I'm not saying they should. This is particularly prominent in the trans community. If you disagree with me on this, you're wrong. I know it sounds yikesy. It happens anyway.
So Vaush did like this whole stream where he called like trans people who dislike him subhuman, basically, multiple times.
These people are fucking disgusting. They're subhuman to me. It's actually amazing to me how many dipshits I've cultivated in my community. When people are like, oh, Vaush, I saw one person use the T slur.
It's so funny how I can just like respond to anything they say with that guy.
Generally, I don't try to follow police. Okay? I don't try to follow police because
You're literally like huffing and puffing and hyperventilating because some guy on Twitter followed me. You need a life. You need help.
I do understand that a lot of people will sometimes follow accounts that they don't agree with in order to keep an eye on them. Now, there's an argument to be made that you can just do that with like Twitter lists and like you don't have to actually follow them. But I get it. It's simpler, makes it a little bit easier to dunk on people sometimes. I get it. I'm still not going to follow police people on Twitter over this. I am, however, going to say this. If you continue giving credence to Bad Empanada, you are, like, your beliefs are antithetical to the kind of beliefs that I want in my community. Bad Empanada.
That's totally fine. Your beliefs are antithetical to the kind of beliefs that anyone who considers like anyone aside from a white American to be a human being should hold. So I'm totally fucking fine. This is fine.
Empanada's entire political beliefs can be summed up as America bad.
I'd love for you to try to actually engage with anything that I've ever made and try to make that claim. No engagement whatsoever, no receipts for any of her claims, just trying to form a narrative around like vague sort of screenshots that she refused to even expand and actually read, and sums it up with like, Bad Empanada, just say, America bad. Ugh. You could try to engage for once in your life. You could try. I understand you're like someone who just learned what politics was 2 years ago by watching a pedophile sex pest streamer, so it might be difficult for you, but you could at least try. It might go well, I don't know, it might make you a better person, it might make you smarter.
Only thing he lives for anymore is causing drama in the server.
I live for my relationships with dozens of amazing people who I love. What the fuck are you talking about?
Of attacking trans women on Twitter. That's all he cares about. I have been done with Bad Empanada for a long time.
Who cares? You've been done with an internet YouTube video maker? I don't even know who you are. Like for you, the day that Bad Empanada quote tweeted you was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday. You're done with me? I don't know who you are.
And other people need to be done with him. Other creators need to be done. If you were ever a fan of his, if you were ever on that like fence, you know, where you weren't entirely, like you hadn't written him off entirely. Now
why is it so fast all of a sudden? Why is it so fast all of a sudden?
Time. This man is insane, and he should not be taken seriously about anything, and you should just forget about him.
This is like someone in a fucking clown suit talking about how you shouldn't take someone else seriously. It's fucking amazing, man. You've never made anything serious in your life. Give us a break. You make videos about how Vaush's lesbian joke is actually good. Like a 4-hour-long stream VOD about how Vaush should be allowed to be misogynist, actually. You have no leg to stand on here. Who do you think you are, really?
The reason I'm talking about this is because I've had this pent up for about a month, and I am not going to let that go. That is...
Well, you really you really let it out and spoke your truth here. Truth to power. Great fucking job. Oh, the delusions of grandeur. The pure delusions here. Man, this is really something.
All that I really have to say. I will see you next.
I'll see you next time.
Hi,
too.
thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like, comment.
I would if I was signed in. I'd give you a like, comment, and subscribe. I'd also hire Astro Princess to edit my videos which is apparently a thing that you need when you have a 2K subscriber YouTube channel. I mean, great video, good work. That you really made a great case for deplatforming me there. I've been destroyed. I'm going to be excised from the online left now. How will I ever recover? I think I'm going to recover fine. I think I'm going to be fine, actually. Man, everyone who comes after me is just the most bizarre weirdo I've ever seen. This doesn't even make me angry anymore. The only thing that made me angry there was like, not her attacks on me. It was like the callousness of the way that she just reads tweets from people who are clearly speaking as victims of American imperialism, as if the things that they're saying make her look good. That was crazy.